Welcome back to the Film and TV channel. I hope you're all staying safe and well. I have a movie review today. It's a movie that's out to buy. Just came out to buy it. I think it was on the 21st of February 2022 here in the UK. So you can buy it online or in store. Recommended retail price for this one is £7. It's a very, very interesting one, this. It's very interesting. Something we've not seen for a little while. It's a combination of animation, cartoon and real life in a sort of fantasy adventure, and it's called A Fairy Tale After All. So we're going to have a look at that today. Please, if you are new to the channel, push that subscribe button, push the bell notifications, so all these little vlogs are coming out on the film and TV channel. I try and inform and entertain, of course, as best I can. So if you get that button pressed and follow me, that'd be brilliant. Let your friends know. And also, if you're into football, if you know anyone who's into football, and Manchester City, my team, I do have a Citizen channel, so I do past, present and forever for City, so loads of stuff, history and up to date on Manchester City. So please, if that's of any interest, or point someone in my direction, and please trying to get at least 10 thumbs ups for these film and TV vlogs if you can. I mean, it's not many to ask for, is it? Please just push that thumb up sign. Leave your comments as well if you can, or just either or. If you can leave a comment and a thumbs up, great. If you can just give us a thumbs up if you haven't got time, that'd be wonderful. Right, yeah, A Fairy Tale After All. Interesting film. Not very long, 72 minutes, and it's about a teenage outcast. Yeah, it stars Lucy Jones and Amy Morse. A teenage outcast girl finds herself confronted by whimsical characters when she's transported into a world of fantasy and fairy tales while attending a school marionette show. She comes to realise her own imagination has an adventure already scripted for her that carries more wisdom than she could ever find alone in the real world. Yeah, the main actress, she's playing teenage. She looks a little bit older sometimes, but sometimes she does look teenage. She doesn't quite fit the high school uniform thing, but interesting. But say sometimes she does look older than her years, but it's very hard to tell. So some people have complained about that. I wasn't too hung up on it, to be honest with you. Is it any good? Well, these scores are as at the 22nd of February 2022 at 10 p.m. Only 181 scores and reviews have been left on Internet Movie Database. And you know me about 10 out of 10s, don't you guys? Well, it's got 110 out of that 181. 110 10 out of 10s. So I'm sorry. It attempts a very quirky style of filmmaking, but it's not a 10 out of 10. So I can only put that down to ringers, if you like, people who've been connected with the programme. Obviously, it's dead easy to go on. It takes a split second for your film crew to go on and post a 10 out of 10 review, doesn't it? It doesn't take too long. So I'll take that with a pinch of salt, guys, as far as this film is concerned. That's 61% of people who left a score said it was 10 out of 10. No. And 29 actually said it was 1 out of 10, so I balanced that out. I took that out as well. So if you ignore that totally, you're left with a miserly 42 scores and reviews. And 13 only scored it between 6 and 9, so that's not great. And 29, over double, scored it between 2 and 5. So it very much, even though it's getting a 6.3 out of 10 rating on Internet Movie Database, that is skewed. That is pretty skewed. It's probably near 4 or 5 out of 10, in all fairness. But as I say, it's early days. I mean, it is out to buy now. I don't think that count is going to go up that much. So don't be totally taken in by that. I'm not saying it's a bad film, don't get me wrong, but it is a little bit misleading. Yeah, for me, as I said, this is very odd at times. It's a bit of a disjointed tale. It seems to be a bit rushed in parts, as though they've missed scenes out that they could have added to it. And especially when it's 72 minutes, you think they could have made it a little bit longer. At times it's okay for kids, but at times it will be confusing for kids, and kids won't really know what's going on. They like the puppets, they like the creatures, of course they will. Very Jim Henson feel, all that sort of feel to it, if you like. So they like that. But trouble is, it'll confuse kids at times, and it confused adults. It certainly confused me. You got to remember this is sort of parallel universe as well, and it touches a Wizard of Oz and touches a Labyrinth and stuff like that, but not quite reaching the heights of either of those two films, if you like. But it does attempt it. It does attempt to be quirky. There's a bit of attempt at humour in it, which doesn't always work. And like I say, this Henson type puppetry. You get animation as well at one stage, not much. You get black and white sequences. You get parallel universes, as I said, a labyrinth type feel, and you do get one or two. There's one really good song that has sort of had me humming along, and there's two or three songs that are okay, but a bit off the shelf. Perhaps will grow on you a little bit more of it. I'm not going to watch this. I watched it twice, believe it or not, as I fell asleep the first time I was watching this, so I had to watch it again. But I don't particularly want to go back and watch it again to see if any of the songs grow on me, to be honest with you. And it has a stage feel to it, very, very stagey feel, as though it's one they could do in a theatre with the puppets, and which would probably work very, very well, actually. A little bit of tweaking here and there. But yeah, it's 70 minutes. It's short enough not to put younger watchers off. So they do start getting a bit glazed over with some aspects of it. It's not too long that another puppet's on and something happens to keep them entertained. And for adults, vice versa, we don't perhaps get too bored with certain parts of it, which can be a little bit monotonous. I just get the feeling that it could have been so much better. Perhaps money was tight, I'm not too sure. They could have improved the beginning. They could have made more links, give you a bit more backstory to what was going on with certain characters. And of course, if you had another 15 to 20 minutes to this, it would have been, I think, a lot better film. But as I say, within the budgetary constraints, perhaps he didn't have the budget to do that. I'm not too sure. I will give it points for originality and quirkiness, because you don't see many of these films mixing live action with puppets, going back to the old Muppet Show days and the old Henson films, the Muppet Road movie, and it's nice to see. It's nice to see the aspects of it. But as I say, it does have a very much a pantomime theatre feel to it. But it could have been, this for me could have been a great family film. It really could, but it's just turned out for me anyway. As I say, I'm ignoring all those 10 out of 10s of people who think it is a great film. It's just an okay one, but a little bit odd and not quite right for me, which is a shame. But it did give me the urge to stick Labyrinth back on. So that's not a bad thing, is it? I've watched Labyrinth. I've lost count how many times I've watched Labyrinth, but I certainly would get the urge to stick it on again and watch it again. So my score, yes, I am going to give it an okay. As I said, I can fully understand. As I said, it was probably averaging 4 and 5 out of 10. But I am going to be nice to it. I'm going to give it a watchable 6 out of 10. And I'll sort of go with the flow of it being okay, because I said there was a lot to like about it, even though, as I said, it's a very, certainly not a film you can watch tired, guys, because I watched it tired the first time I went through this, and it didn't work. I thought, oh, what the hell is this? I thought, and obviously watching it again, I appealed just a little bit more. I could understand it a bit more when I watched it compos mentis, if you like. So, and it's one, don't think too much about it. There's a lack of background to some of the characters who just sort of turn up. Humour doesn't always work in it, to be honest with you. It didn't appeal to me, but there's some nice fantasy elements. So yeah, I'm going to give it a good easy 6 out of 10. And as I said, we even get a song or two, definitely one you can hum along to, but I forgot what it is now, so it can't be that memorable, can it? Well, then again, my brain isn't very good. Interesting film, guys. If you want to go out and buy that, I wouldn't put you off. It was £7 recommended retail price. You could probably pick it up a little bit cheaper if you pay 4 or 5 quid for this, and the kids might like it and get a lot of use out of it. So have a look anyway, guys. Interesting film, but not quite. Could have been great and ended up okay for me. Anyway, thanks for watching. Whatever you're going to do rest of the day, have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. More important, let's look after each other. To meet here again on the Film and TV channel, I only ask one thing, don't I? Please stay safe, everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.